A year ago at this time, you're in your first camp, trying to wrap your head around the offense. Now you've got a season in the system under your belt. How different is camp for you?
Very different. I think, like you said, the biggest difference is comfort level. Whereas last camp I was at this point learning everything, still getting everything down. Now it's an issue of fine tuning things and improving timing and that type of thing. So we're much farther ahead than where we were last year.
Coach Morrison said that you are physically a lot stronger than last year. Is that just part of naturally maturing, or did you go into the offseason specifically saying, I want to bulk up, I want to get leaner? What was your offseason conditioning goals?
I did go into the offseason thinking about getting stronger, but I think it was more of, this is my first full offseason now since my surgery, so I was just I was just going to get stronger. I mean, last year I was trying to get my strength back, and then by the time I got my strength back to, a decent level, it was time for camp. So once camp and the season starts, it's more of a maintenance thing. You're not trying to get stronger. Now, this whole off season, I had to get stronger, to get bigger, to get faster, that type of thing, improve all, get my numbers up in the weight room. So that was probably the biggest thing this off season, was just being able to have that time to improve my strength.
How much bigger are you? What do you weigh these days?
230, so probably about 10 to 12 pounds more than last year.
You're now working with 3 coaches, June Jones, Dan Morrison, and Hal Mumme, who have a ton of experience with quarterbacks and in the passing game. Does it ever get sort of confusing who you're supposed to be listening to in meetings or anything?
It could, but the way that Coach Mumme, Coach Morrison, and Coach Jones all go about things really makes the line of communication very simple and easy. They all speak the same language and they're all saying the same thing, so I'm hearing one message rather than 3 in meetings, which is great.
Without getting into the X's and O's, obviously, what's the biggest impact that Coach Mumme's had on you or on this offense? He's done this well for so long. When he came in here, he obviously, immediately had the respect of all of us, just looking at his pedigree. So I think our offense has really benefited from just listening to what he has to offer about the game, whether it be scheme-wise or idea-wise, but just general knowledge of the game of football. So we feel like we've all learned a lot from him offensively, and we're excited about what he brings to the table. Everybody always says an offensive success starts with the offensive line. Last year they were all new to you since it was your first year on campus, but they were all new to everybody last year, replacing 5 starters from the year before. This year you've got 3 new starters. How does the offensive line look to you in terms of the way they're gelling and working together?
They're looking very good. Obviously we got some young guys that are going to be playing. Having Thomas Ashcraft transfer in obviously helps us depth-wise, and so we're excited about what he gives us. But they're doing a very good job meshing together as a unit. They've looked good through the first 2 weeks of practice, and despite the lack of experience, they're very talented, and we think that we have a chance to be very good up front.
You mentioned Thomas Ashcraft. You knew him in Austin when you were both at UT. Do you see any major differences in him since you were both there to now?
I think, just maturity level on the field. You see, just by way of being around the game for so long, you just naturally gain that knowledge about it. And so all those guys really, all the guys that are older, really have just another level in terms of their knowledge of the game, and they've matured, and you see them being able to recognize things quicker and faster.
You and he are 2 of the 3 ex-Longhorns on this offense now. Traylon Shead is lined up behind you at running back. How does he look compared to what you remember from Austin?
Traylon's doing really well. He's got a good burst. He looks a little bit faster than he did. I think that's, again, the level of maturity, just being able to recognize things, seeing holes, seeing cuts, being able to make them faster. So Traylon's going to be very good for us. We're excited about what we have at the running back position.
He's replacing a guy who, in a way, is sort of similar size. They're both very strong, very powerful runners. Will the running game look different with Traylon as opposed to Zach last year?
I don't know if it'll look different. I think we might have a few more aspects of it. This coming season, we might have a couple new wrinkles there that Traylon's able to bring us. Obviously, could have used Zach in the passing game a little more after seeing what he did the other night with that first touch going for a touchdown. We're, again, Traylon and Zach. Can't replace Zach. What a great player. Can't can't replace what a great player he was and how much he brought to the table for us. Not only on the in terms of on offense, but on special teams, he was able to do so much for us and make us so much better in so many areas of the game. So we're just hoping to get some type of similar production from Traylon, and we're excited about what he's done so far and what he's going to do for us.
You mentioned Zach's touchdown the other night with the Vikings. Did you think he had a 61-yarder in him?
He looked like he had an extra gear. I don't know. He surprised me, quite honestly, but it was pretty cool to see. I was real happy for him. All the former SMU guys have been looking good so far in preseason action. I know Taylor Reed had 9 tackles in the Hall of Fame game. Cole Beasley caught a touchdown the other night. So it's been fun to watch those guys that I've gotten a chance to know over the past year and a half since I've been here, doing well in the NFL.
Which surprised you more, Zach's 61-yarder or your 74-yarder last year?
No comment on that one. No, I don't know. Definitely mine. I guess just kind of the way the play developed and opened up. It was just very, very surprising.
One of the groups that's been talked about a little bit in camp so far has been the freshman wide receivers. And the media, we can sit there and watch these guys make catches, but you know the plays that are called, you know their assignments. Have they been as impressive to you as they have been to us?
Absolutely. We've got 3 young guys that have done a very good job for us. We're excited about what they're going to do for us offensively. They're going to push the older guys in front of them to continue to be better, give us some depth at the receiver position. They're still learning. They're on the learning curve, obviously, right now. They're still trying to pick up this offense because it is very complex, but we're excited about the playmaking ability that all of them have.
You mentioned the push to the older guys. Have you gotten a sense of some of the veterans realizing there's some talent coming up in the ranks behind us and an increased urgency or anything like that from the veterans?
Well, I don't think a sense of urgency was ever a problem with those guys. The receivers are some of the hardest working. Our receivers are some of the hardest working guys on this team. I don't know if it was more of a sense of urgency, but maybe just a little bit of a push. Because those guys, they understand what's at stake, and they come out to work every single day. So I can't say it gave them more of a sense of urgency or anything like that. But I'm definitely excited about the depth that it gives us.
In recent years, including obviously before you got here, there's usually been sort of one lead receiver, whether it's Emmanuel Sanders or Aldrick Robinson or Cole Beasley. Last year, I guess Darius Johnson, he finished second in catches, but teams focused a lot on him. Do you see one of your returning guys, Jeremy, Keenan, Derek, ready to be that clear-cut lead guy, or is it more of a receiver by committee approach?
I see us being able to attack defenses from 4 different positions, from 4 different wide receiver positions, our X, our H, our Y, and our Z. All across the board, we're very talented. And again, we have depth at all 4 of those positions. So, I think it might be a different guy every week type of thing.
Take out the freshmen. When you look at just the guys coming back from last year, your receivers, who's made the biggest change or improvement since you first started working with them a year ago?
I'm not sure if I could point to anyone that's been most improved. Again, just the biggest thing for me is just I feel like my timing has improved with them, and my ability to get them the ball quickly has improved with them. So I think it's more of just being able to have time together that we've all improved together as a group collectively.
Has it sunk into you that this is your last college preseason, and do you expect your emotions to be any different going into this year compared to your past seasons?
It is, just for the fact that it is the last one. It's my 5th season. This is it. I'm not sure if the emotions have been any different, but or the approach. Just knowing that this is the last one, might give you a little extra push on the days whenever the legs aren't feeling so good right in the middle of camp.